Hello and welcome back to Brisker Plays Race the Sun. Today I'm taking a suggestion from Simon Clarkston. We're going to be testing out a little bit of a different way to do this. I'm doing post-commentary on a heavily edited video of about half an hour of progress. So we're starting out on a new day. I don't really know the route. I'm just feeling it out, seeing how far I can get playing fairly conservatively and see what kind of formations I find. See if there's anything that I want to pay attention to, that I want to find my way back to. And then once I'm done with that, I want to go back and see, how can I use this pattern to solve some of the problems that are given to me in order to level up, get some pips, see if we can unlock something else. And so, starting out, it's really just about playing very carefully and very observantly. I think that's one of the things that really matters in these early runs, is not just being, conservative so you can make it as far as you can, but also really paying attention to what can you see that you're not hitting, because sometimes there's stuff that you want to see that you might not be able to get in your first playthrough, but you can remember where it is relative to other things, and that can be very difficult. I also was paying attention to those windmills, trying to figure out what phase they're in. It seems like sometimes you have to pick one of the three, or two of the three windmills, and sometimes you'll be blocked off, sometimes you won't. It's a little bit difficult to figure out which ones are in phase with you and which ones are not, and I don't completely know all of the rules. Now here the sun's getting pretty low. I'm not very confident that I can make it much farther. And here we I found myself having to improvise getting through this pattern. I wasn't too familiar with it, even though it's one that I've been through before. And so here I'm starting to make a lot more mistakes, play a lot more sloppily. But we got a nice launch and made it over some stuff. And then this one is one that very often kills me. I just don't really know how to get through that pattern. So now I'm going to look at my my tasks, and travel a distance of 30,000 in the air seems really reasonable. So we're going to skip ahead to when I finish that. And I'm going to be using a lot of tricks here to get lots of airtime. I'm going to be looking for ramps. I spent a lot of time looking to find where the ramps are that I'm going to grab, and also other things like spheres that can launch you, and jump tokens. So I start out just, heading pretty straight down because I know there is a ramp that I want to catch. And there's a sphere that I managed to catch before the ramp I wanted, but that'll still drop me onto this ramp, which gives me more airtime. Then I managed to catch that in a way. I don't really know what happened. I managed to catch it exactly right so that it launched me yet again a little bit further. And so, right away I've built up a lot of air travel, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm going to be able to get that. But then I miss the energy, which is pretty bad. I'm also throwing in some barrel rolls, because I don't really think I'm going to get the barrel roll achievement, but I want to kind of practice. And then I hit that wall, but that got me very close to the total amount of air travel I needed. So I figured I could probably get it in one more as long as I went the right way. And of course, I'm still getting used to the map, and so going the right way is a little bit of a luck thing, as much, I'm starting to get an idea of where I should be going, but I'm still a little bit vague on the details. And so I missed a ramp there, and I'm not finding the jump tokens that I wanted to find. So now I'm trying to nick those spheres, not quite managing it, but then I find the ramp that I want, and that'll give me quite a bit of distance in the air. Didn't quite manage to nick off of that, and then I tried to go for the ramp through that formation, missed it, and that ended up being a crash, but I got the amount of airtime that I needed, and so I looked at it and I thought that maybe, I could do the 20 barrel rolls in a row, but, I knew that that was going to require a lot of grinding, and so I'm going to edit through a bunch of crashes that I got attempting to do the 20 barrel rolls, because that was just such a grind. Because you have to be turning for most of the time, which makes it very difficult to dodge. But along the way, what I discovered was that you can kind of spam barrel rolls if you execute it right. Basically, you have to barrel roll in the same direction every time and just flick the stick back and forth. And so I worked on doing that, and I looked for places like this where I could go over the obstacles, not have to worry about them as much, but mostly just focus on trying to find areas where I can turn a lot and spam those barrel rolls. And it took a lot of practice. You saw how many times I crashed before I figured that out, and I believe I actually cut out quite a few more crashes than what I left in that montage. And that took quite a while to edit. I'm still not completely sure whether or not I want to continue with the really heavily edited style, but in this case, it ended up cutting down a 30-minute grind into quite a bit more manageable of a video. And I knew that in doing this, I was going to miss the birds, I was going to miss a lot of the things that I wanted to grab. So I just, I wanted to spam out as many barrel rolls as I could in the short time that I would get, knowing that I would miss a bunch of energies. And so already, the sun's getting a little low, the skyscrapers are blocking me. I also noticed one of my friends on Steam also plays this, and their scores were showing up, and I got really confused at first because I thought that my language settings had been screwed up, but no, it was just a friend who had added me very recently on Steam. So here I managed to make it out of World 2, and so I decided to spam a few more barrel rolls, just to be sure that I got it, and also grab that energy so that I would have a little bit more time going through Region 3. Though I ended up not using it because I spammed too many barrel rolls, but it ended up working. We ended up unlocking an emergency portal. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.